Hey there, we're taking a look at Assassin's Creed Valhalla running on the i5-1135G7. Now, when I first launched the game, it defaulted the settings to very high, which is just ridiculous. I switched over to low settings immediately and I started doing the benchmarking to see if we could get anything remotely like a playable experience. And of course, starting off with 1080p, it was brutal. Just in the loading screen here, you could see how much it was struggling to get anywhere near a playable experience. It was painful to see. Just nowhere near as painful as the frame rate during this benchmark. I mean, this is insanely bad performance, which, I mean, I was expecting this. This is 1080p, even with the lowest settings. We couldn't even get Assassin's Creed Origins to run on here. I was pretty much not expecting Valhalla to do 1080p lowest settings at all. So this is expected. Unfortunately, 720p is not the saving grace of this game either, and this is of course 720p with the lowest settings. We don't have adaptive quality on yet though, and the render resolution is still set to 100%. So there's still a little bit of headroom where we have here to move around to maybe try to squeeze a little bit more performance. Those 1% lows are brutal, and those averages are looking very cinematic. Turning on adaptive quality does not seem to help the situation at all. I was hoping that we would have noticed an improvement here, but no, it's pretty much almost identical to when we tried 720p without the adaptive quality. So that's unfortunate, but you know, the only thing left now is to just reduce the render resolution, and we're still averaging that crispy cinematic 25 frames per second average. And of course, setting the render resolution down to 50% and leaving on adaptive quality set to 60 FPS at 720p with the lowest possible settings. We managed to finally hit an average of 30 frames per second, with 1% lows just barely about to kiss 20, which means we have entered into what I'm sure Ubisoft would call very playable, very enjoyable, the pinnacle of what they can create. But to any normal human being, it is still not a playable experience at all, and I would pretty much just avoid this game. Because even at these settings, even if the FPS seems perfectly fine for you, you can get away with this. The amount of flickering and artifacts that just happen on the screen is insane, because the level of detail of everything is so low that artifacting things here and there are just a lot more noticeable. Like the sky flickers all the time. Again, not a fun experience, not very enjoyable. I would just say skip this one, you know, enjoy one of the other Assassin's Creed games that doesn't run like this.